Phil, I'll start with you on it because the allegations against Fani and Nathan were either admitted to by this pair or denied in part, and this judge, while saying maybe they weren't proven, like that the affair began before 2022, I smell a rat. There's the odor of mendacity. Somebody else should really investigate. I mean, everything the defense suggested, I think, was accepted by this judge. The only question was, what are the consequences going to be? What do you make of the ruling, though?
Well, to me, Megyn, it's kind of a mixed bag. The order itself was, in fact, scathing in its description of the overall, sort of bad judgment used, to put it lightly, by the district attorney and others in this case. I don't think, though, that this is really a big win per se for the defense, because cutting Nathan Wade out of the case, and look, that's what's going to happen. That's really not going to be that big of a deal. It's not going to slow them down. They won't miss a beat. Nathan Wade, despite what they may have said, is not carrying the water for this prosecution team. It's Anna Cross and some of the others that are really doing, I think, the heavy lifting here. Wade was sort of involved in the periphery, but as far as doing the heavy lifting in court, it wasn't him. So she's got to decide, is she going to go and take her whole office with her? She can't leave Wade, by the way, because if she goes, he's got to go because his authority comes from her. So she's not going to get out of the case. She's not going anywhere. I think tossing Wade out is throwing a bone to the defense. It ignores the what I believe was perjury. It avoids what I believe was the fraud perpetrated on the court. He basically said Robin Yurdy didn't move the needle. Well, that can't possibly be true. She's got personal knowledge. She saw the affair taking place in 2019. He just seemed to ignore that. He ignored Terrence Bradley's text messages where Terrence Bradley confirmed that the affair started before they testified it did in 2022. And strikingly to me, he doesn't want to even hear from Cindy Yeager, who is the chief assistant DA in Cobb County, who has personal knowledge that Fani Willis was influencing and tampering with witnesses back as early as September of 2023. So, if I'm the judge, I'm going to want to get to the bottom of this. He, on the other hand, wants to just ignore it all, split the baby in half and move forward. He took the easy way out. But look, Megyn, I want to share something with you. I don't think it's going to be over. I think these defendants are going to continue to pursue things. And there is a Georgia law, and I'm going to read the necessary parts to you. It's Georgia Code 1518-27. It says that when any person makes an affidavit before a judge of the Superior Court, which alleges that the district attorney or a member of the staff of the district attorney has committed an indictable offense, and the court finds there's probable cause to believe of such, the judge, it says, has a duty, an affirmative duty, to notify the attorney general and refer it to the attorney general. So I wonder if we're going to see an appeal. I think the parties absolutely can appeal this. They're going to, I think, ask for what's called an affidavit or a certificate of immediate review, which is a discretionary thing, but it would allow them to do a pretrial appeal. I suspect the judge would grant it. I think Willis, by the way, is also going to be appealing the ruling that tossed 6 of the counts out the other day against Trump and some others. So there's going to be some things, I think, going up on appeal anyway. And I really think I think it's a pretty good bet. We're going to see some people asking the judge to refer this case to the attorney general for prosecuting what I think are the indictable offenses. You got perjury, you got influence from the witness, you got violation of oath of office. In my opinion, there's probable cause to believe those people have committed all those, and those are all indictable offenses. So yeah, this is not over.
Violation of oath of office is those are the 6 counts that got dismissed against Trump and his co-defendants just the other day by this judge. Now it could be brought against her. She's also accusing them of lying. Now that charge could be brought against her. And you're telling me that there's a Georgia statute that says it can happen if only there is an affidavit that the DA or her staff has committed an indictable offense and the judge sees probable cause that it's true, then he has an affirmative duty to refer it to the Attorney General. So that'll be the question. Does the judge, I'm sure they'll produce the affidavit, does the judge see probable cause that Fani Willis or a member of her staff has committed an indictable offense? Either she or Nathan Wade, who would be, I think for these purposes, considered part of her staff, even though he's an independent contractor, he's there because of her. All right, let me zoom back out and get overall reactions to the decision. Mike Davis, start with you.
Well, I'm not surprised if this judge, after these overwhelming facts, and if he actually followed the law, he clearly should have disqualified Fulton County DA Fani Willis in her office. But I think he caved to the politics. He faces a Democrat challenger in November, and I think he tried to split the baby here. And that's when he dismissed those 6 charges before this ruling. When he did a couple radio interviews before this ruling, and just seeing his demeanor and that evidentiary hearing, I have always feared that he would not follow the facts and the law here and follow the politics. And I think that's exactly what he's done.
Dave, what do you make of it?
Megyn, you remember when Mike Davis got the Supreme Court decision right on absolute immunity and I was wrong? Well, in this one, I want to take a bit of a victory lap because I called it at least part of the way.
Do we have that? Did we cut that, you guys? I thought we may have cut a soundbite. Oh, here. Oh, actually here. We did all of you just because we like to keep the record. Stand by. This is how the predictions went. What's the percentage odds, Phil, that it happens, that she and Nathan Wade and her office get booted?
I'm probably at around 80 to 85%, I would say. I think the odds are pretty good. I do think the judge is going to do it.
If this judge does his job and follows the law, it should be 100%.
I think Nathan Wade, 80% he gets bounced, 85%, 90% he gets bounced. But as far as Fani Willis, I think 50-50. And you may be wondering, how does one get bounced but not the other? I think the judge could split that hair and actually say that for the appearances of impropriety, for all these reasons, he should not be part of the case. Fani Willis, you need to remove him from the case. But because I have not established that there has been an actual conflict involving you, I'm going to allow you to remain on the case. But Nathan Wade has to go.
Dave Aronberg nailed it. Wow. I mean, in detail, nailed it. Yes, champion. You're right. You did. Well done.
Thank you. That makes up for my my wrong predictions everywhere else. So thank you, Megyn. This is my issue, is that I thought this would be the outcome, but I didn't know how the judge would get there, because it is a bit of a confusing ruling when the judge says, well, I don't believe Nathan Wade. I don't really even believe Robin Yurdy. I don't believe Terrence Bradley. I'm not going to say anything about Fani Willis. How can you say that Nathan Wade is not credible, but Fani Willis doesn't get tarred with that? Remember, she adopted the affidavit. That's to Phil's point. So I think that the judge was able to get to the conclusion that he wanted to, that I wanted him to get to, but the reasoning is really tortured. And because of that, I think there is grounds for appeal. I still appreciate that this is a very difficult case, and I think the end result is something that I agree with, but I admit that this could be right for some sort of appeal, or at least what Phil said about going to the Attorney General, because this is not over.
Oh, fascinating. Well, very, very good analysis there, Dave. And now we have 5 lawyers saying they think this actually has a decent chance of getting overturned on appeal in Trump's favor, because the judge does not look like he applied the right legal standard. I mean, it was really just kind of tortured to get to. No actual conflict, but on the appearance of impropriety, yes, but it can be cured, but only one of the bank robbers has to go, to use Jonathan Turley's analysis. Just one of you caught in the vault is off the case. The other, as long as you don't continue stealing, it's fine. No consequences for the past stealing. Couple points on what you said, Phil. Anna Cross is with Kate Middleton, as far as we know. We have not seen Anna Cross. Okay, so she's the other special ADA brought in. And since Terrence Bradley got up there and spewed his lies, she's disappeared. We don't know where she is. So we'll see whether she's still a special prosecutor on this case, which leaves the other guy, Floyd, who really is a RICO specialist and also maintains his private practice. So I don't know that he wants to go into the lead position on this case. I think they're stuck with Fani, which, is not all bad news for Trump. Robin Yurti, I want to talk about her, you guys. So he gets to Robin Yurti and he says, I'm going to pull it up. He says something that we all discussed on this show the day it happened, that he didn't really believe her, that he said there wasn't enough there. I'm trying to find it here in all my notes, that she testified, yes, that the affair began before they admitted it. Here it is. While the testimony of Robin Yurti raised doubts about the state's assertions, it ultimately lacked context and detail. Okay, actually, this one's for Mike. Mike, even you and I, who believed strongly that Yurti was telling the truth, wanted more detail from Robin Yurti, because it was one thing to have her say, they had an affair, Fani told me, and I saw it, period, move on. And it would have been another entirely for her to say, this is exactly what Fani said to me. This is exactly what I saw. I saw them in bed together when I came to visit my condo. Or and I don't know why to this moment that wasn't provided, but it was what the judge ultimately used to dismiss the critical witness in the case.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think if the judge followed the facts and followed the law, this would have been a very easy case. But I think this judge has a big political problem this November with a Democrat challenger for this judgeship in an overwhelmingly Democrat district. So I think he did legal gymnastics in this order to protect Fani Willis in this case.
He did legal and some factual gymnastics, Phil, because to dismiss Robin Yurti like that, it lacked context. Well, okay, but it's under oath testimony that is unchallenged, other than the fact that she got bounced out of the office. And Terrence Bradley, he completely dismissed his texts to Ashley Merchant, saying, I didn't see anywhere a foundation that he had personal knowledge on any of it. And he dismissed the cell phone evidence. I don't know why. That wasn't really explained, why him going for overnights at Fani's house before they claimed their relationship began was not persuasive to this judge.
Oh, I can explain it. The explanation is that the judge is keenly aware that Willis has a very powerful political apparatus that she can weaponize against him at the drop of a hat. And if he goes as far as tossing her and saying that she's lied in court, then that political apparatus immediately starts supporting the very far left opponent of Scott McAfee and boosts him and probably gets him to replace McAfee after the election in May. So that's, I think, the actual explanation.
I want to tell you about the Association of Mature American Citizens, or AMAC, an organization dedicated to America's seniors. AMAC stands out today by not only advocating for senior issues, but also by pushing for conservative values that affect us all. If you join, you're not just supporting America's senior citizens, you can become part of a movement defending our freedoms and securing our nation's future. Plus, membership brings you exclusive benefits like discounts on travel, dining, entertainment, and special insurance rates. Regardless of your age, if you're driven to preserve freedom, AMAC welcomes you. Sign up now at amac.us/Megyn. And for a limited time, get a free gift membership for someone who shares your love of our great nation. Don't miss out on this chance to make a difference with AMAC. Join today at amac.us/Megyn and extend the invitation to a friend or family member for free. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.